friends, I realize there has been such a drugstore focus on my channel lately, which I love that, but I do have some new high-end things to talk about, and it's always nice to know whether those things are worth the money. So I've got some newer things from both Sephora and Ulta, so I'm gonna throw together a full face. Also, it is Belle's first day of first grade, going to school, and I'm gonna be pretty emotional today. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get through this morning, and then Biddy starts pre-K next week. First thing, I got this Glowish from the Huda Beauty line multi-dew skin tint. I got it in 03 Light, and this product is super glowy. Also, I like the pearliness on the packaging. It's like, instead of just being white, it's kind of pearlescent. It does have a pump, and I feel like I don't even necessarily need the full pump of this stuff. Like, it really spreads. So I'm gonna dab this on my skin, and it's kind of one of those products where it's not full coverage, so if you're not 100% on point with your shade, it kind of meshes in. Just grab this brush from Believe Beauty. And of course, I'm already moisturized and sunscreened and everything underneath, but this is one of the glowier things that I own in terms of a base product for sure. I had seen Boise Beauty on Instagram posting about it quite a bit, so it kind of made me want to go ahead and try it myself. How would we explain the coverage on this? It's overall a light coverage product. I feel like overall I'm seeing through to my skin, any little imperfections, you know. If you wanted to build this up, you really do add to the glow as well. So I feel like you're a little bit limited on the building unless you want to be incredibly glowy. It feels like it's adding an additional layer of moisture to the skin. So if you've got really dry skin, this might be something you want to look into. But also if you want to pass on something like this and you just simply want to make your own foundation or tinted moisturizer even more glowy, you can get one of those Believe Beauty like liquid luminizing products. There's a champagne colored one and a more bronzy one. You can add a pump of that to your base product and really get a glowy look as well. I also wanted to try a couple products from the One Size line. This is Patrick Starr's line on Sephora, and it's the Turn Up the Base Butter Silk Concealer. And I got this in a pretty light shade, Fair 3, because I did want it to be really brightening on me. And I have learned after playing with this for, I don't know, the last week or so, I have learned that it takes very little of this product. Like, even though there's a thinness to the texture, it's still very potent coverage wise. Like, it's a really good concealer. And I'm going to be giving myself just a couple of little dots right in here, and you'll see once I start blending, like, it goes far. So I'm hitting my areas, you know, like I would. It feels like it spreads even more than like a Shape Tape would. I mean, Shape Tape has amazing coverage, but this just somehow travels across the skin, encompasses more surface area. Like, if you see a person apply a ton of this, it's probably way, way too much on the skin, I'm just saying. But I started out and I used too much because I thought, oh, it feels thin, I must need more. But look at how this just kind of spreads over a huge surface area for just a couple of little dots that I put on. And I have blended this with a beauty blender as well. Works fine. My hair is still kind of drying, by the way, from last night's shower. Nice with a beauty blender, using this little brush that I like to use here. As you can see, it doesn't set too fast, but I really like this concealer. I like how thin it's able to be and yet really nice coverage. Really brightening, really nicely covered on the skin. I feel like it meshed really nice with the base product because while my under eye doesn't look super glowy, the textures just blended in together really nicely, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Then I got the little One Size setting powder. This is the Ultimate Setting Powder in Translucent, and so I have been pairing this with that concealer. Just shake out a little bit. Texture-wise, this is reminding me a lot of like a Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Powder. I'm just dabbing this over my under eye. Will also hit the T-zone with this. It doesn't like unbrighten you by any means. Let's look at the nose as it goes over this area. You can see it's definitely capable of mattifying. I was very glowy in that area. I don't know, has anybody tried this loose powder, and do you feel like it's got some above and beyond quality that other powders don't? I mean, you know, I feel like I get along really well with my Believe Beauty loose powder, and I feel like I would in setting this concealer also. Like, I don't think I absolutely have to have this powder, but it does work well. I'm not finding a bunch of negatives with it. I'm not feeling like I'm seeing it or it's making me look really, really dry. I'm just using a sparing amount and getting it on the T-zone. And I still feel like I've got a little glowiness ultimately underneath everything. Next, my friends, I got another product from the Glowish line. This is, again, under the Huda Beauty umbrella. It's the Tan Light shade of the Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder. Interesting packaging here, how it's like squared off, but then also you open a round lid and it's got this swirled product here. And I thought the tones looked really good, like the different options, but I got 03 Tan Light. All in all, if you look at a swatch of this, we're looking at about that depth level. And I mean, it doesn't seem to be super glowy just in a swatch. But I don't know, there's glow from being shimmery and then there's glow from like having a bronze look, I guess. Maybe that's the way this factors into that line, you know, just by having that bronzy glow. There's a nice blendability, there's a nice ease with this product in that it's not too light, not too dark, so I'm not working extra hard to build up a too light product, but I'm not having to be ultra careful the way I would with a really super dark bronzer, you know? But I can contour with it. It looks nice. It's kind of reminding me of the application feeling I get from like an Hourglass bronzer, you know? It also does have that swirled element, so that might be speaking to me as well. But you know what I mean? There's just an ease with this product. It has the light swirled in with the dark, so it's just not an overwhelming product to apply. It's easy. Okay, so I've got that all on there. Maybe I'll add a little more around the hairline. It's interesting, I don't feel like this bronzer in itself has very much glow to it. So if you're thinking because glow is in the name that it's going to be super duper shiny, I don't think it really is. Then guys, this next thing, it's not new at all. It's been around probably for ages. You can tell me if you like first used this blush when you were a teenager, but you know how I've got a kind of a thing for Clinique these days. And like I love the eyeshadow duos and different things. I did the whole video. And I decided I wanted to try one of the blushes that was packaged like this. Packaged like, I don't know, maybe an old countertop. You know, it's kind of got that marbled design, but mint green. I like that. So I got this blush. This is the Soft Pressed Powder Blusher in Mocha Pink. And I just thought, I want to try that shade. Seems like it might be good. Huge mirror. Actually a decent sized brush that they give you. But I'm just going to go in here with my trusty e.l.f. blush brush. Pop this on for you. It's really pretty. It is. I feel like I've probably got a Cheekers blush from CoverGirl that would give me this same kind of look, but actually it shows up a little more pinky than you might imagine. It's really vibing with this shirt. Well, I like that. And then one of my little Walmart tank tops with the little pocket. I love these. So I really like that. I think it's a matte finish blush. I'm not detecting any shimmer in it, but definitely an oldie here. I want to know your stories about that kind of blush. Then, my friends, I got a new thing that I was sent in PR. Laura Mercier has a new kind of loose powder. So there's the translucent loose powder, and then they have like that slightly more glowy finish translucent powder. You know what I'm talking about? Do they still make that one? Well, now they've got this with the shiny top, and they're calling this translucent loose setting powder Light Catcher. Light Catcher. Celestial light shade, and I think it's just the one that for my skin tone would work the best, but it's very shimmery. Like I compared swatches of this versus just the glowier setting powder, and this is definitely like a highlight, like a loose powder highlight that you would probably have for years. Like I feel most comfortable putting this on in a pinpointed highlighter-ish way, so I'm picking it up with this highlighter brush and you'll see just how glowy that is. I mean, it's not the kind of thing I think I'd want to just drape my entire face in. I just want it, you know, where I want to glow. I'm already kind of glowy, but I think it's pretty. If you're really trying to whiz through your makeup routine, I don't know. There are certainly a lot of good highlights that aren't loose powder that don't require that extra care, but it is nice. Like it's really soft. I don't know if you can tell it, there's like no large fleck going on. I just kind of made the surface of my skin look pearly there without really looking like another layer of product is on it. So maybe that's part of the benefit to this being the loose powder. It's just, it ends up being so light on the skin, but it is pigmented still and effective. So Cool. I will do a little setting. I'm going to use my Glossier Soothing Face Mist, my rose spray. Haven't used this in a while. And when you haven't used one in a while, sometimes you get a big droplet here or there. It's okay. Guys, I don't have anything new to use in my brows, so in the spirit of going high-end, I will use my ABH Brow Wiz in dark brown. Nothing brand spanking new for brows. When you've been using thicker pencils or just different methods, these little pencils always feel so fine. I just can't believe I've got a kid going off to school today. Like, we were remote learning all of last year, and frankly, I mean, there is some fear associated with the fact that the virus is still very much out there right now with the Delta variant. You know, most of the US seems to be a zone where it's really cranking up with cases. But I know the school is doing everything they can to be safe about things, and I'm not trying to open a big controversial can of worms here in this video, but masking is mandated in schools regardless of vaccination status in the state of Illinois. And with these young elementary kids not being able to be vaccinated yet, I mean, a lot of people don't want the masks, but I just want my kids to stay safe, you know? Things are ever changing too. Sometimes we have to look big picture and say, this is where we're at now, this is not where we're always going to be with this. And maybe we're giving our kids a lesson in adapting and also taking care to protect your fellow student. I got some kind of a crazy gnat on my light. Okay, and this is the Makeup Forever Aqua Resist Brow Fixer in the shade medium brown. So it's just got this little teeny tiny brush. I've used this before on here. It's kind of nice for like fluffing up the brows. It doesn't get too goopy at all. Just a teensy brush, comes out really clean. Kind of reminds me of the Almay Brow Styler. I'm kind of big on the brows today, kind of fluffy. Pop on a little eye primer. Don't have a high-end one handy. Alrighty, new palette alert. This is an Ulta product. It's the Buxom and Ash K Holm palette here. So this is what we've got. Kind of an interesting combo of some pops of color and some very safe neutrals. And who is Ash K Holm? I think she's a makeup artist, but yeah, we're gonna use this today. And the other day I did a very like purple on the lid look, so I'm not sure where this is gonna go for me right now. I'm gonna start out with 1989, which is this pretty peachy color. I generally do like the quality of Buxom eyeshadows. They do a nice powder product. Is Buxom still doing, I haven't checked in a while, it's still doing their customizable little palettes where you could choose your singles and pop them in? That was kind of neat. Okay, so this shade is really pigmented, very peachy and bright. I think I'm going to take this color called Iconic, a matte again, and sort of let that blend over the edge of my peachiness. It just kind of like filters it, it fades it just a bit more. It's not like a super bright highlight, but that's sort of where I'm placing it. Then I'm kind of wondering about maybe a little bit of this shade, Royalty, just like mixing in down here. Just coming in on the outer part a bit. It's interesting kind of seeing those two tones come together. Okay, see what's up there? Just kind of really lightly bringing that into the mix. I'm not sure where to go next. I haven't used this dark brown. I'm just trying a little bit of that on my outer lid. I don't know, like I'm not gaga over this color scheme and sort of the randomness here with the couple of purples. I mean, the purples were okay, but like the other colors mixing with it. Okay, I haven't even put anything on this brush. I'm just sort of helping that brown around a little bit into my crease. See, the shadows are nice. And physically, they're merging pretty with one another in a pretty way. A little more purple now. I don't know why I keep trying to make this happen, but I want to see the purple and the orange kind of butt up together. I think I'll also take dark brown and we will go under here. Just for like soft smoky liner today, lower liner. This is me stalling because I'm not sure what I want to pop on my inner lid. I've already played with the purple. You know, this purple shimmer is pretty. I'm kind of thinking I want to take 1989 again and like pop some of this in here. And then maybe a little shimmer on the inner corner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, why not? I'm going to take this shade called Living right here, Champagne. And maybe we pop that on the inner corner. Little glow to the matte look. And then I'm going to bring in Wispy White. We haven't seen her in a while. This nice little detail brush from Sigma. And I'm letting some more of that orange just really peek out, be a little more vibrant. Do you own this palette? Do you have any certain looks that you really like to do with it? I mean, you do have a black in here. The black makes it pretty versatile, so you could do like a dark plummy look potentially as that black merges with the purples. A very neutral look. I don't know, I guess I just haven't quite fallen in love with it. I feel like in my mind, having tried the Sydney Grace and Temptalia Radiant Reflection Light Palette, that did color so well, and so many of the colors just look cool, kind of coming in contact with one another. And here I think we got some pretty things. I think we got some potential, but it isn't really wowing me. I'm gonna give myself a little pencil eyeliner. These Bare Minerals new Mineralist eyeliners are actually pretty good. They glide on with ease, and I do feel like I've had good staying power out of most of them. So I've got the Onyx shade here, and I'm just gonna take that across my upper lash line. And then I really have no new high-end mascaras, so I'm just gonna throw something together. Just super easy glide with that liner. I'm enjoying those for sure. Okay, so here's my finished eye look. I've got just some Lash Princess mascara on there and my Thrive liquid lash extensions on the bottom. So you can kind of see, I was noticing as I was looking up really close, I can kind of see that little bit of purple haze that I layered in there, but it's not super prominent. I'm mostly seeing that peachy color in this look. And the last step, I bought one of the new Bite lipsticks. So remember how they were Bite lipsticks, and then they brought out that Amuse-Bouche formula. Both were really good, and then they kind of went away for a while, and now they've got their Power Move Soft Matte Lipstick, and it seems to be packaged like the same way as before. I got the shade Extra Sugar Buns, so I'm just gonna pop this on for you. Camera just cut me off, but it does seem more matte than their formula used to be. I never thought of Bite's lipsticks as being incredibly shiny, you know, but like this, as you'll see, it is a soft matte lipstick. It's going on creamy with hardly any pressure. This shade turned out to be a little bit darker than I was expecting it to be when I bought it, but it does feel great for a matte lipstick. I'm obviously not feeling that big bunch of moisture that I would with a cream lipstick, but I'm not feeling dry either. A way to enhance the staying power of this might be to give it a little blot. And then if it was Besame, you know, they'd say apply a little more and then blot again. So I'll see if I have good staying power all day with that. But end result is this kind of deep, earthy red, I'd call it. So guys, I like my finished look. I don't feel like everything was a real essential in this video. I do like the Glowish products from Huda. I think this is really pretty on the skin. I don't think you have to buy this product for a glowy skin tint because there just are a lot of skin tints on the market right now, number one. Number two, it's easy to mix a liquid highlight or a liquid luminizer in with other things and kind of get that glow. And as you may know, in a past video, also Maybelline has that new kind of glowy product that's very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, so there's another idea there. But I do like what it did for the skin. I think both of these are really nice quality products. I found the bronzer to be easy to use, although again, it's one of those deals where I'm loving that Wet n Wild bronzer, and I spent a fraction of the price on that I did on this. It's hard to be head over heels impressed with something when you know you have come up with something that's really good and it just didn't cost as much. My favorite thing that I used was this one size concealer. I think this is a pretty impressive formula because for as thin and lightweight as it feels, it covers like crazy and it spreads tremendously well. Like I'm just feeling that texture again, and I just think it's really good. I think it manages to be lighter and thinner than a lot of the other concealers in this bracket, in that fullest coverage bracket. So that impresses me a lot. I don't think the loose powder is a super essential. I think you could pair it with any loose powder. I gotta say, I do like this shade of the Bite lipstick. lipstick. I like the formula. I'm interested to see how this wears on me throughout the day, because we do know that when we're talking matte lipsticks or matte liquid lipsticks, some of them can really be in it for the whole day. So for as comfortable as this feels, I'm eager to see how well it wears. And I'm not real huge on this palette, and I don't feel like I've got an amazing reason why, because the quality of the shadows are all good. But do you ever just lay eyes on something and you're like, I'm not immediately making sense of that? Even though I know you could put together some purple looks exclusively, or you know, you could just keep it neutral. People talk a lot about color stories, and that's just a color story that's not super jiving with me. But again, the shades that I did use, I thought merged well together and they were nice quality. That's my look, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.